So welcome back to another episode of the Collaboration Corner. I wish I could tell you what episode this is, but I can't remember myself. Today's been absolutely great. I've been out with our client Skanska today. We've done a full video shoot for the full day across lots of different project sites. So keep your eyes peeled for that full video case study coming very soon. But for now, I'm heading back across into Bishopsgate to see our friends at Lend-Lease. Back to a project I was at a couple of months ago actually, so we're going to see how they've been getting along with Revisto. So without any further ado, let's get to it. We are on our way now to 8 Bishopsgate with Lend-Lease, and if you rewind back on a couple of the Collaboration Corner videos, you'll see we were in with Graham, I think it was just over a year ago actually, so I'm really excited to see how the site has progressed, what they've been up to, and how they've been using Revisto as this project nears.
So hi, my name's Graham Murphy. I'm the BIM manager for Lend-Lease down at the 8 Bishopsgate project. So Lend-Lease on this particular project, Lend-Lease are the construction manager. So Lend-Lease as a business is developer, main contractor, investment manager, asset manager. They've got a lot of different roles. My particular role in this project is under the construction management role. That's the role Lend-Lease take on this build. So we are in the run up to completion. So there is about 4 months left until we PC the building. So we topped out our superstructure 3 weeks ago. So it's a steel concrete frame, 52 stories above ground level, that's topped out. We are up at level 48 at the moment, which is 2 levels of plant before the viewing gallery. And we've got about 4 months left to finish the internal fit out, which is done about halfway up the building. Got more switch rooms than you can stake a stick at. One of these, that's a lift motor room, I think. This is the boiler room. So all of the heating and cooling, all of that comes out of the boiler room. This is what we call, it's a floating floor. Everyone calls it the floating floor. It's an insulated, because this is classed as an external space, because it's got all the facade louvers in it. So we have an insulated floor that goes in, which is the floating floor. So all the plant and equipment comes in through. We've got 2 mole holes, one in the east, one in the west. Everything gets dropped in and then skidded along the floor.
Definitely a different dynamic being here this time than what it was last year. So let's get into, the Revisto bits. Just a broad question really, what value has Revisto brought to you on this project?
Oh, massive amounts of value. The most complicated part we have on this project is builders works, coordinated builders works openings, and that's all related to fire, performance, fire stopping, which is a priority. It's on everyone's radar. It's a massive issue of safety that everyone is coming to the table with. So what we've learned as we come up the building is how we're coordinating builders works and how we're installing our services. So what Revisto lets us do out in the field is it lets the construction managers, it lets the trade contractors, it lets PMs, PDs, every scale of the project look at what's installed to make sure it's as per the design and as per the coordinated builders work. So it's helped us reduce our downtime at the top of tower, which for us is a massive benefit. It's a massive gain for the project.
Absolutely. I know the project team, you introduced Revisto relatively early on. Tell us a little bit about the consultant team and how they engaged earlier on in the process to get you where you are right now.
Yeah, so we've had really good engagement from all different levels of the project. So even at the moment we have actual trade contractors on site using for Revisto, which is a benefit for us because it means that they know how the tools work, they can go off and successfully install their stuff. From a design team perspective, it's been really beneficial when everyone was doing their remote working. It's a very complicated building, it's Cat A exposed floor plates with raft ceilings, so there's a lot of services that are exposed, and being able to see everything in 3D from the bathroom pods to the Cat A floor plates to the plant rooms, it just helps everyone fully understand and comfortably sign off design to know that we're happy with where it works, whether it's performance, whether it's fire, safety, architectural, whatever it is, everyone can see what they're doing.
What else? So let's think, I know there's probably lots of answers to this question, but what's your favourite feature within Revisto?
My favourite feature. I like the stamps features, probably my favourite feature. So
Okay, what's a stamp?
Stamps, so when we're either out on site or whether you're the design team back at your desk, if you want to raise issues in Revisto, probably the most complicated thing about this project, or the complex thing, is the volume of people on it. Lots of trades, lots of different design team members, no one knows everyone. Stamps help you or give you the ease that if you're raising an issue assigned to a package or a trade, that's pre-populated for you, so it's being assigned to the right person and they're getting a notification, so it takes a little bit of the stress out of not having to chase down. You can raise an issue for a package that you don't manage or that you don't know about, but you know it's going to go to the right person to solve it out. So when we want to raise issues with things that we see out on site that are not particularly installed as per the design, so we can take that set of pipework there, for example, is not installed as per the design. So what we can do is we can take a sticker, we can assign it to the MEP trade responsible for those issues. So it's a construction query. So we'll raise a construction query and then we'll take a photo of the issue so we can explain on site what's happened, what's not happened with that issue. And then it's automatically getting assigned to the relevant package manager, it's getting assigned to the relevant trade, they'll get a notification to respond to why this has been done on site. There might be a valid reason for it, no issues with that, but then we need to capture that back in the design so that we are happy that when we're signing the install off, it's correct, it's what it should be.
Opposed to sort of workflows, traditional methods before that would have been what? Emails, markups, or a variety of other things?
Probably what would happen is we do things, it's either going to end up on a snagging report or it's going to end up on a safety register somewhere where it will take a lot of time to get it to the right person to close it out. Becomes potentially a bigger problem if it's behind a riser or behind a wall and gets sealed away, then we've got to take the wall down. If we know it's a problem there and then, we can solve it as a problem there and then.
And you mentioned time. I mean, how much could you quantify how much time Revisto has saved you using the stamps for the coordination process?
I mean, hours, days. There's still issues in the design, but that's more finessing the design. The quality that the team, the client team, the design team, the Lendlease team aspire for is very, very high, exceptional level of quality, and the tools help us do that. So even now, we're just coordinating our as-builts and we're just finessing the last bits of design. So you're definitely looking at days, weeks, I mean, I'm not, maybe months, but you're definitely looking at a lot of weeks that have been saved by just being able to raise issues, assign them, and the team can pick them up and close them out.
And it's managing that process. I see some of the stuff you put on LinkedIn around coordination and the importance of it, and it's been great actually watching Graham's journey on this project and what you've been doing Revisto. So I mean, for anybody else watching this, which hopefully there'll be millions at some point, could you give somebody new to Revisto starting a large project some tips, tricks, things to try and ensure that you get right from the start when setting up your project?
What I probably tend to push with people is how you set up your project. Set it up right from the beginning. So it's taking the time to understand what your project needs. So coordination was always going to be a big thing for us. So we knew stamps was always something we'd want to focus on, how we manage those issues. So we put time and effort. And even then, from what we have at the start to what we have now has developed slightly. It's new team members, more packages have started. I think we started off with a few stamps, which was a construction issue, a design issue, a TQ. We then evolved it so we could raise stuff if it was a snag, so we could raise stuff as a snag, or we could raise things in different ways, so that we knew that was where we were going to put a bit of focus, because we knew that's where other projects we'd tripped, maybe we'd had a couple of stumbles in terms of those issues, and it can take a lot of time on a CM contract where if we can facilitate trades to coordinate more closely, more quickly with each other, that's what that gives us. So that's definitely something we focused on.
That's great, and you can probably see in the background, I can hear some of the trades on this project. How engaged have they been with you in the coordination process?
It's got massive engagement. So MEP has always been front runners. They've always been early on adopters. We've pushed it a lot with a lot of the internal fit out trades. So ruddies, toilets, pods, that's all coordinated. Lifts, we got stuff from Coney. There's a lot of micro detail that goes into a lot of the packages, even joinery, so all the timber ceilings, all the fixings for all of that are all modelled, so coordinated, so that we can find, I mean, we still get one or two issues out on site, but we find a lot more, the design team find a lot more, and we coordinate them early on before we end up building stuff.
Well, this has been a fascinating trip. Thanks for having us again, Graham. It's been really enjoyable to see what you're up to. So a few closing words from yourself.
Looking forward to the end of the project. It's been a hard project, but there's a lot of tools, Revisto being one of them, that have really helped drive the project, not just in terms of efficiency, but in terms of sustainability, in terms of value for money. I think going forward on the next project, we would look at what we could do a lot earlier on, but also what we could do a lot more of. There's a few opportunities, lessons learned we'll take from this project and apply it to where we go next.
Fantastic. And if you want to see more about the project 8 Bishopsgate, you can find that on the Lend-Lease website. Proud to be part of this and proud to be working with Lend-Lease. Thanks, Graham.
Anytime.